Welcome everyone, you are listening to and perhaps watching Calling the Audible. I am your host, Peeze Simon. I am rejoined once again by Simon Dagenet. After a welcomed reprieve last week as I was joined by Robert Campana. We went over some changes that were upcoming. For those of you who haven't watched it, take a minute to take a look on our Facebook page. You'll find it, or on our YouTube channel. You'll find it as well. The man who does the posting and nothing much else. The eagle at master control. I'm a little disappointed, Simon.
What's up?
I'm disappointed.
What did I do?
No, not you.
What did I didn't do?
An eagle.
Cool.
I'm going to pull back the curtain.
I'm used to being...
It's normally you, yeah. It will be you at the end of the show because this is very much your kind of show and not my kind of show.
You made it, though.
I know, but I'm not
show.
happy about it. It's like watching a child grow up and knowing that they'll be a failure.
And you can't avoid it.
You can't fix it. It's just like beyond my best efforts. The reason why Eagles annoyed me, other than the fact that he's making a ridiculous amount of noise at the moment, and I'm pretty sure his mic is on.
I can't hear him.
I can hear him though.
The mic might be broken.
And the thing is that other than that, of course, every week I take some time to put together topics that I find interesting that we'll discuss on the podcast. I thought, and every week I put like clever like titles to them and spend some time on that. And I thought Eagle was using them as like
so
headlines for the show.
He's not?
He's not.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, it's not hilarious.
You come up with you take time to come up with these puns.
Yeah, and like the thing is, like,
and they're just
he should be doing it in the first place, but because we know he'd be no good at it, I do it.
Initially, I thought it was to confuse us, to confuse me, so I can't use them. But I was like, what's the point of this?
But I'm leading the show anyway. You don't have to use them.
And then I realized, well, maybe it's for the screen.
Yeah.
Oh, we talk about them for the audience because it's a podcast. But I guess the producer doesn't care about the audience.
I guess not.
You could tweet him, but he won't answer because he doesn't care.
It's like in the last days of Aaron Hernandez. If you were speaking to him, he probably wouldn't answer either. It turns out they studied his brain, and the levels of CTE found was like record-setting for anyone.
Yes, I heard about that.
And it's a Washington Post article I read today. Actually, I was writing that as I was writing the script and procrastinating from writing the script for this show.
Weren't you at work today?
I took some time to work on it. I stayed later to work on it. But yeah, so that's the thing that I saw that and I was amazed by it. And what I find interesting about this, correct me if I'm wrong, is people will take this and say it's not an excuse for what he did. But I don't think anyone's claiming that. It's just like so if someone has bipolar disorder and kills somebody, it's not an excuse, it's a reason. It also doesn't make it okay that they killed someone.
Yes.
So while it's not okay that Aaron Hernandez was a murderer, and going back as far as we know, there was even cases where he was being investigated when he was in university. Yeah,
I read some of the stuff that he
pretty sketch.
Allegedly did.
Yeah,
it's pretty hardcore.
And the thing is, though, it doesn't, like, knowing that people seem to be so protective about football and so worried about with the future of it and so weary of the CTE conversation. But the thing is that if you find out that bipolar people are killing people on an increasing rate, or things are happening with them, wouldn't you look into like, hey, we should look into treating these people better before they kill more people?
But Peeze, that would be smart and logical.
But it's
we're talking about the government.
Well, not just the government, but people like sports fans are the worst. Sports fans, dude, but they get paid millions of dollars. It also doesn't cure their brain. You can't bandage your brain with millions of dollars.
They also get paid for work, like for 2 years of work, and then they basically
on average, most of them can't retire on their earning.
Sure, Tom Brady's fine, but there's also like billionaires.
Yeah, Tom Brady's it's not the majority.
There's like one of them.
Yeah, exactly.
Last I checked, there's only one Tom Brady.
Sorry?
There's only one Tom Brady, unless Belichick has a few in his closet.
Maybe that's how he's lasting so long. They just keep switching him in and out. Like, what's the Chris Nolan movie?
Well, yeah, it's that and not steroids.
Is it the Prestige though, where they keep killing Hugh Jackman?
Yeah.
There we go. So it's Tom Brady equivalent.
What was the other one that wasn't the Prestige but was
The Illusionist?
almost? That's the one. It was exactly the same movie.
They came out,
it came
like,
out
at
a
the
month
same
apart.
time,
Yeah,
But one had Paul Giamatti in it, right?
I believe so.
And the other one
I believe
didn't. The other one had Michael Caine. Hey.
Hey,
My
hey.
dad.
That was a long time ago.
So.
Both great movies.
Well, I mean, they're the same movie, so if one's great, the other one's going to be great.
Fair.
But yeah, so like it seems like, why do you think that is, that people are unwilling to hear the argument of like, hey, what's happening to these dudes is really bad for their brains, and messed up things keep happening
because they get paid too much. It's the one thing. It's like
so it's jealousy. It's
No,
I don't get paid a lot. I'm miserable at my job.
there's this company in Quebec that does like testing, like they test vaccines on you to see if it works, and you get
Why
paid.
do
Like,
is this what put you through school?
no, but I don't remember what it's called. And it was like they'll give you a shot. You'll be sick for the weekend, but you'll get a lot of money. And so,
Clinical trials.
yes, thank you.
Well, the company's not called clinical.
No, but you're saying people go for
There's one
clinical
company
trials.
that's called. Anyways, so clinical trials where, okay, so you'll be sick for a week, and then we'll give you $6,000, and you never talk about it again. Basically the same thing. Here's $1 billion. Your
But
brain's done,
it's
but
not the same. It's ruining people's lives.
I know, but this could
We
also
hear
ruin
stories about like
people's lives,
Devon
right?
Best screaming at the TV
It-
because he's demanding the coach put him in there.
I'm saying, but the clinical trials could also generate these kind of problems.
No, but the I think
You know,
the bigger thing
Here
here,
we have evidence that we
At
know
a-
it
yes, but
does.
at a smaller.
I think the bigger problem here is that the moment you admit that there's a problem, your level of enjoyment of what you're watching goes down, right? Because it's like I'll use a really bad example. Imagine that you watch the Kentucky Derby or whatever it is, and finally you realize, or you know behind the scenes, that it actually injures the horses. You're gonna want to watch it. You're gonna be like, now I feel bad about doing it. So you're gonna watch football thinking yourselves you guys are gonna get hurt and everything, and their brains are gonna turn into mush. It takes away that fun factor. So the more you pretend it's not there, the more you enjoy it.
Am I the only one whose brain went to chicken when he said that?
What?
Am I the only one? Yeah. Did you not think about chicken when he said the whole thing?
Go get another clinical trial.
He's like Kentucky Derby. I was like, I'm hungry.
It's a thing.
Horse race.
I know.
Yes, your brain is the only one with
Yes,
the chicken.
when people talk about the Kentucky, the state, they immediately think of chicken.
There's a good chance Simon is riddled with CTE. Want to catch every NFL game this season and catch more CTE incidents? Watch it on DAZN. That's DAZN.com. That's the only place in Canada that will show every single NFL game live, including all playoffs and the Super Bowl, plus NFL Game Pass, NFL Red Zone, NFL Sunday Ticket. DAZN is offering Canadians more access to NFL than ever before, with no blackouts other than when dudes get blacked out. The Zone can be viewed at home or on the go on smartphones, smart TVs, tablets, gaming consoles, and etc. Fans can watch their favorite teams and leagues and players for the affordable monthly price of $20 a month or $150 a year.
120, no? There was
150.
150?
Yeah.
There was 120.
Let him do his plug.
Seriously, that's the one time you can't speak. We're rusty.
It was over, by the way. The plug was finished.
I gotta say, it shows that we're rusty because I landed the joke, and then shortly thereafter, as Rob Campana comes in to move my car, shortly thereafter, as I land my joke, and now I'm not allowed to finish speaking. Yes, I got interrupted rudely. Yeah. You guys cut me off at the end of that. So it was like everyone tried to get their self in instead of just letting it sit and getting on to the next part of the show. Yeah.
So we have bye week. What's up with that?
I'm sure your mic is still off.
Hey, we had bye week, so what's up with that?
Irrelevant. No, we're gonna get into the Bulls. The Bulls have been announced. They've been set as to who's playing against who and so on. The Kevin Wyeth Bowl, for example, is one such bowl. And we're going to get into each of the teams that are playing them, the previous results when applicable, and, of course, what we think about the matchup. Truth be told, I have all the matchups in front of me here. We may not get to them all. We may split them between this week and next week. Our show's a little sloppy. Our show's a little messy. We're going to try and get to everything we can. If not, this might be split again, as I said, over 2 weeks. So, in the Kevin Wyeth Bowl, I also think I have some comments about it being named the Kevin Wyeth Bowl and for these bowls being named for players. But anyway, I find it particularly funny that the guy who's most likely to win the first ever Kevin Wyeth poll is Kevin Wyeth. I mean, doesn't it devalue it that the trophies already has your name on it? Like,
I don't know. Does it make it more prestigious?
I don't
That
know.
nobody else could win it but you?
Party trophy when he was playing?
I mean, I don't think it was called that till after he died.
No, it wasn't.
That's what I'm saying.
So you're saying we have to kill Kevin Wyeth?
You're gonna have to push-ups after the show.
So you're saying we have to kill Kevin Wyeth?
How's your mic still not on?
You had a 2-minute conversation with Eagle and his mic was off. That's awesome.
My suggestion was that we named them after inanimate objects, like the table bowl.
I know. I remember the
lawnmower
bowl, the pizza bowl,
Well,
the pasta bowl.
The pasta bowl was good.
I remember.
Yeah, the bowling.
There's a
bowl.
reason it's not
The
called
bowling
that.
juice bowl. So in the Kevin Wyeth Bowl, the FPF All-Stars will face off against Urgence and Zik. The previous time they played, FPF All-Stars won 55-14. Does the Urgence and Zik, I wrote UM here. And
That confused you.
yeah, it was really confusing. Does Urgence and Zik stand a chance? Anything Jesse Sweet can do, or their defense? Like, what is there anything at all that they can do to stand a chance?
The only thing that it could have that Kevin Wyeth and Finest doesn't have is the element of surprise, where they could try to jump routes and expect Kevin Wyeth to make a mistake. Oh, I wasn't expecting him to do something this crazy or whatever. They just let go one guy and expect him to make a bad read, I guess. I was expecting them to have a better chance in the regular season. We all know the Finest take it more seriously when the playoffs comes around. So in the regular season, with not so much on the line, you would expect them to give him a shot. Since they didn't, and it wasn't even
We
close.
don't all know that, by the way, since I don't remember the last time they won less than 7 games.
That's true.
So
Well,
we don't all know that.
Okay, but to be fair, the season were longer. But I would say if they didn't win in the regular season and it wasn't even close, I don't think the playoffs rematch will be in their favor.
Chris Miard looks to be the most improved FPF player in the shortest span of time
Fair.
ever. Do you think he's a member of the Finest come winter?
I don't see why not. They've been looking for a rusher for the past few seasons now. Mokon's the first one to always stipulate that the pass rush is weak.
I don't know why.
Yes,
I don't know why.
but it's been weak forever. Yeah. Anyways,
Primo Con.
even with Mokon. But I don't see why Chris Millard would not, unless he doesn't want to or he can't make it for whatever reason. I don't see why he would not be invited. It's a great weapon for them, both sides of the ball. He fits the team.
Yeah,
He's a very good acquisition for them.
absolutely. And watching, of course, Lance Daniels' video, watching the last game they played against Fine Wine. Excellent video, by the way, put
Yes.
together by Lance Daniels. If you haven't seen it, please take a look. Shot like a Oliver Stone style documentary, somewhat.
Yeah, I like it. It's a bit different than what we're used to as a game of the weeks, but
Yeah, it's fine though. It's something interesting. It's something different.
Yep.
I find it another thing I find bizarre about sports fans. Every time you show them something different, their first reaction is to freak out and complain about it, and then after a while, it's like, yeah, it's pretty good. So
What
luckily,
is this?
I remember
like it.
Lance's first few games of the week. People were upset that like he would cut to the next place too quickly. I'm like, why do you want to spend more time watching the same
It's true.
game?
the same thing over
Yeah.
and over. It's true, but it's just change. People don't like change.
That's the thing, and I honestly I think he's done a good job. And it's saying it's not about him, but I just want to say, watching that video, seeing Chris Miard playing on the offensive side of the ball as well, I already knew he'd be an instant success at rusher, but seeing him fit the Finest system was fun. It was excellent to see.
Yeah.
Just that he already has such a rapport with Kevin Wyeth is just pretty amazing. The next game in this bracket, DK, the second seed of whatever pool, is taking on Fine Wayne of whatever pool, because the names of these pools involved don't actually
really matter. Sorry,
but
Bass
anyway.
Madran.
Oh yes,
Sorry,
the Baz Magician. Actually, Eagle. As I bring these up, you let me know what pool they're from, all right?
Sure.
Last meeting, will you have your mic on this time? Last meeting, DK won 45-32. Is there a chance that this is a low-scoring game this time, or the quarterback's too good? So maybe, like specifically from Rochdi's side of things, just how well he adapts to defenses.
So the last time these two teams played, I went on saying that both quarterbacks had a very bad outing, although the score was high. The last play of the game came down to a pick six from Serge Pilon Jr. to make it a 2-score game instead of just a single-score game. I expect a very similar outcome this week. So they're both defenses. They're very good. They're very frustrating to play against.
But that's the thing, and I remember this argument. I don't think the quarterback's necessarily bad, just with the defenses being so good.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. This week, next week, anyways, whenever they play, it's not going to be about quarterbacks not making the throws. It's going to be defenses adjusting and playing really well. Fine Wine has the personnel to make Rochdi's life a nightmare. I know he knows it, so it's going to be a very close game, and it's going to be within 6 points.
If you're Fine Wine, what do you look to take away?
If you can take away Serge Pilon Jr. on both sides of the ball, you're probably putting yourself in the best position to win this game.
I actually thought DK would be a bad matchup for a good matchup for Fine Wine initially going into the season, because I said the size and physicality,
Agreed.
they might be
I
able to
could see it
offset and interrupt the routes and the quick release routes that are thrown to the Pilons. But that wasn't the case the first time. So I kind of agree, and I hope they learn from that last meeting that maybe we got to play a little bit more physical. We got to interrupt routes. We got to.
I mean, it's all the same guys, right? Like, they've played against the other players a bunch of times before. They know who they're playing against. They know what kind of athletes they're playing against. They know Rochdi. They know the Pilons. They know Arsenault. I don't expect them to come in and be surprised by who they're facing.
Yeah.
They should know ahead of time who we have to take out. And knowing they couldn't do it the first time around, it's going to be interesting to see how they adjust this time around.
How mad do you think Dan Tacos Lazara is at Eagle for all the comments he made during the video?
So
That was a great comment.
he actually messaged me afterwards, and he
Naturally.
was like,
Obviously.
I thought we were friends."
Yeah.
Classic Dan.
Which is funny, because the last message I sent him was a GIF of King Joffrey coughing at the red when he kills himself, because it was the last time I messaged him, which is when he choked away the last finals. So I don't know why you thought that.
We're not having that conversation again about choking. But anyway, it's okay. I read some of the messages Dan and I have sent back and forth in the past, but we're not allowed to swear on this show. I'm going
So
to.
we'll keep
We're
it.
two hot-headed Italians. How broke are you for Christmas?
Very. Like,
Yeah.
I'm looking ahead at the next 6-7 weeks, and I'm curious at how I'm gonna figure this out.
The first year that I bought my house, it was difficult because I was not used to owning a house
Also,
and not used to hosting for 27 people for
Yes.
Christmas.
well, I'm not hosting, thankfully.
Yeah, hosting
My place is not
is
that
more
big.
expensive than you think it is.
Oh, I know. Tell me about it.
So now we're prepared. I have enough SAQ points to pay for the booze. We're doing more potluck style than we were in the past.
That's fair.
All my gifts are bought.
Already?
Yeah, because I don't go to stores anymore. I buy everything online.
Yeah, but it's 6 weeks ahead.
Is it possible?
You don't even plan-
You guys are two of the people who know me best.
Yeah, fair.
Do I have some sort of social anxiety disorder? Because
Yes.
I've gotten to a point where I have difficulty walking into stores because other people go there, and I won't be alone.
Yeah, I also hate people. Like, I like to
No,
go
but dude,
to
I'm
the
so
11 a.m.
uncomfortable that when I go to a store, I need to have a headset on. And listen, usually I that's where I do my reviews of the podcast, last podcast, is I'll go into a store and I'll be listening
that's
to.
kind of weird.
Yeah, because I don't want other people to talk to me. I don't want, like, other people. Sometimes people will see me, and I specifically don't want them to wave and say hi and whatever, because I have no problem seeing them in the street or in a bar. But when I'm at a store, I just feel like it's very claustrophobic, and I don't want people near me. Is that bizarre?
Yes, that's bizarre.
It's a little weird, but at the same time, I get what you're coming from. Like, I like shopping online in terms of like figuring out which item I want to get, and then actually going to the store is literally just a trip to the store to pick it up. Because I don't want to wait 24, 48 hours. I want it now. So I'll go to the store, grab it, and then leave right away. I don't want to diddle daddle. I don't want a guy asking me for help. I know exactly what I want. I just want to pay for it and get out of here.
Yeah, but see,
true,
like
that's true.
that's how I am. But instead of waiting, it's people. So I'm willing to wait a day because I have next day shipping on everything. But
Yeah, we know.
Yeah.
You tell us all the time.
Yeah, because it's amazing.
What do you do when you get groceries? That must suck.
I have a headset on, and the only time I have to go is like Saturday mornings.
That's the worst.
And like FPF scorekeeper Stefano Berardi often sees me there, and he tells me all the time, he's like, "I always call out your name, but you don't say anything." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm not there."
That's the worst. I don't like. Well, morning's not so bad if you go like before 11 a.m.
Yeah, before 11 a.m.
But if you go like Saturday afternoon,
Yeah, I get there about 11.
I can't do it. Like, I would go in during the week, like
Yeah.
around lunch when there's nobody.
And the one
It's
I go
fine.
to has so many Italian old ladies just leaving their
So you
shopping
go to
carts.
Intermarché.
Yeah, in the middle of the aisle.
There you go.
How do you order cold cuts if you don't talk to people?
I call in advance and I pick them up.
Just wave and point.
I have a separate place I go to, and usually if I can send someone from work, I'll send them from work.
Do you just wave and point?
No, I send my secretary.
Are you sure you're not the one with CTE between the two of you?
I've had some concussions, so.
That's It's fair. You did have concussions.
But yeah, in the next bowl, the Carmine Pollice bowl, hopefully Carmine doesn't seem that way anyway. He seems fairly healthy, fairly strong-willed, strong of mind.
Yes, he doesn't feel the kind of guy at CT. Although I would assume he would have concussions from the way he plays.
Yeah, but like the thing is, like his smile just propels the helmets backwards. that's how I see his football career.
I'm pretty sure that's magic.
Yeah, we'll get to some magic later, by the way. But Top Guns take on
magic.
Freshie Superfoods. Superfoods are in fact magic because it's a thing that gets thrown around and changes on a daily basis.
Top Guns were 5th in the Bazmajan pool. Freshie Superfoods are 3rd in the Con pool.
I don't know what that means, but yes.
You asked me to give you these.
Yeah, do it, but I don't know what it means. No previous meeting between these teams. Does this favor Freshie Superfoods in any way?
Yes.
Even though Top Guns have like a really unpredictable and conventional offense, you still think it favors Freshie Superfoods?
Even if you have played Top Guns before, they're still going to change whatever they're doing offensively. Like I don't think you could prepare.
Okay, but you said it favors Freshie. How does it favor Freshie?
It favors Freshie because Top Guns is very good at adjusting to who they're playing against. So knowing that you've played Top Guns before, Paul has played you before, Paul Lapierre, if he knows what to do against you coming into the game, he has that on you. In this case, since he doesn't, he's going to have to go to something that's a bit more basic than what they like to do, and they could favor Freshie in having the first half advantage on him.
Yeah. The leading receiver for Top Guns was Donald Shepard. For those who don't know Bomb Squad the way we do,
yep.
For those newer to FPF, can you describe how he can be the X factor for this in this bowl season?
He's a phenomenal snapper, probably one of FPF's best snapper. He used to play for Finest for the longest time before he moved away.
7-time All-Star, 8-time champion, Hall of Famer inductee in 2014.
Okay, but yes, everyone has access.
Okay,
to
so what?
Let's talk
why
about
is he so good?
What makes him so good? Exactly.
So Don doesn't drop balls ever. Like he has great hands. He's faster than he looks.
Yeah.
Somehow, and he always finds the right place to go at the right time. So it's not always about undercutting the rusher or over whatever he lets him go. He knows exactly where his quarterback wants him to be at what time, and just gets there in a way that makes the defense very difficult to cover him.
Watching him play allowed me to become a better snapper because it allowed me to understand how the field opens up for certain routes and how knowing what the other routes are help you get open.
Yeah.
And his hand-to-eye coordination and reflexes is out of this world. Because I remember seeing plays where, and you tell me, Wyeth would want to throw him the ball. He's like, 8 yards, look left, it's coming fast. That was the play call. And literally, it's 8 yards, you slightly tilt your head, the ball's already coming at you like a rocket, and just one hand, like 3 fingers, basically, just grab it out of the air, pretty much.
Yeah,
that's an awesome play call. 8 yards, look left, it's coming fast. I like that.
If Simon would give that call, it's a pick six.
Or I would break somebody's nose. That could also happen.
Can Matthew Lepage and Connor O'Brien create mismatches for Top Guns?
Offensively or defensively? Like as
specifically
receivers?
Offensively, given that they had I want to say 23 combined touchdowns.
100%. I don't think they have Top Guns has the personnel to cover both guys. So if Robbie Robinson's a great defender, he's going to be on one of them. Who's on the other one? That's the way I see it. Robbie's going to take one of these two guys away, but there's another one of them.
Yeah. So, do you think they'll have a big impact?
They'll have a mismatch. One of the two is going to have a mismatch.
Braves are taking on Dad Bods, and they are from?
Braves are first place in the con pool, and Dad Bods are second place in the con pool.
Interesting.
Yeah. The con pool sounds like a place I would never want to visit.
Make good samosas.
Don't bring your children.
It's just one.
That's not nice.
If we could just drop a dead fish visually. Dad Bod season over.
Yeah, I don't see them.
Analysis over then.
Braves. First of all, Vini's terrible against Braves, so there's that. Like you should drop Vini. Don't let him play in this game. You have a better chance of beating.
But he hasn't even had that big of a season.
He just hates them for some reason.
For Dad Bod squad.
I don't think Sean Abrams the right quarterback to play against a defense like Braves.
Should they start Vinny Galano instead?
Yeah, but it's on his team. Yes,
I'm just asking.
Yes, if they want to win,
like the coach, the head coach.
If they want to win, then have a better chance with Vini. But on the flip side, Vini's terrible against Braves.
Quarterback controversy. But he also beat Braves once that season.
So they should start.
He's not terrible against Braves. He's 1-1 against Braves.
So they should start Rich
you're
Humes.
the worst. You take one thing that happened.
No, but ask him. He'll be the.
He had one terrible game that
Yeah,
he still remembers because it almost retired him from FPF.
Also, he lost. The only time they won against Braves was in Kirkland, and half the team wasn't there. For both teams, it's not just.
But also half his team wasn't there.
Yeah. Well, yes.
So it's a fairly even playing field.
I don't know. It depends. Anyways, not the point. Maybe they should start Rich Humes at quarterback.
I guess.
Anyways, I don't think
it's hard for me to see.
I don't see
Vinny's not being the best option.
I don't see Dad Bods roster being able to match up against Braves enough to win this game.
Is this the kind of game like we saw last week where Boulard, Gary P, Chevalier, and Courchain also all had like equal contributions, everyone getting looks, everyone getting touchdowns, or does Jonathan Maheu lean on one guy for Braves?
If he leans on one guy, it's going to be JD Chevalier due to the speed mismatch. But otherwise, John Maheu's offense, he tends to give everybody a chance to get the ball, to get involved in the game. If you haven't had a target yet, you're going to get one soon. His offense doesn't just look at one guy and feeds him. He distributes a lot, makes sure everybody gets a chance to contribute. So everybody's going to get a touchdown, but there's a chance if one guy has 100+ yards, it's JD Chevalier.
Normally, you would look for the strongest matchup on your end, kind of the weakest guy on the other side, and try and exploit that. But it seems like Dad Bods won't have a roster to cover anyone, so he can just run that system, throw the ball whoever he wants to.
Well, the thing is with Braves, there's no, everyone's strong. There's no one player who's...
Everybody's good.
There's no... It's a team where it's hardly even a standout because of how good they are.
Yeah.
It's not that no one's elite. It's just everyone's kind of if you grade them on 100, everyone's kind of like an 88. You know what I mean?
Everybody's good enough to make plays by
I
themselves.
realize we have ratings now, so I can't say stuff like that. But they are whatever the ratings say they are.
88s.
They are about there exactly. But I feel like it's fairly accurate as to
It's true.
But it's not like he avoids the guy being covered by the other team's number one DB, right? He goes to him anyways and just runs the system.
You had this bizarre story about egg rolls that you were hinting at, and I'm curious, and I can't even think of whatever's happening on the show because I want to hear about your stupid egg rolls.
You want to talk about it right now?
Yes.
Okay.
That's a transition.
So I have a friend who's 400 pounds.
Oh boy.
Used to live in
It's not me, by the way.
It's not you. No. He used to live in Ottawa, and he told me you have to go to this place called the Golden Palace. The Chinese restaurant.
Oh, I know the Golden Palace.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And they were like, they make the best egg rolls in the world. And this guy's traveled all over the world and everything. He's like, in the world. So my brother actually lives in Ottawa now. A couple weekends ago, we literally drove to Ottawa, picked him up, went to eat egg rolls, and then drove back. So I think I had a dozen egg rolls when we were there. Basically each one of us ate about 12 of them. And then we took another 12 each to go and brought them back home and everything. They were absolutely amazing. So yeah, I drove 4 hours to eat egg rolls.
Was it worth it?
It was very much worth it. Yeah, I'd do it again. I would do it again. Yeah. Apparently they're so good they're gonna start being sold at the Bell Center.
If you want company, I'll come with you.
Yeah, let's do it.
I'm down.
Yeah, I feel like it's something I want to do soon.
Well, you've done it before.
Yeah, I know. I had a interesting egg roll story, and we'll get to your topic in a second, Simon.
Which one?
I was at this high end buffet in Vegas. I want to say it was a Bellagio, and they had this thing where there was egg rolls or spring rolls, egg rolls or imperial rolls, egg rolls. And as I walk by, I see this giant dude, probably about 400 pounds, and he's stacking.
That should be the same guy.
He's stacking egg rolls. He's stacking egg rolls on his plate. And I'm I couldn't keep my eyes on. I was like, what's going on? He's just stacking egg rolls. And what he did was he made 4 walls and then stuffed everything he could find from the buffet, and it was contained within the 4 walls of egg rolls. Donald Trump should hire him.
He made a food prison.
He made a food wall of China.
This is amazing.
It was pretty interesting.
This is amazing.
Did he finish the egg rolls though?
I at that point I stopped watching.
I couldn't.
It was amazing. There should have been a show about his architecture. You said you wanted to talk about cheat meals.
Yes.
And so since we're talking about food, I figured it was fair.
So this is the kind of time of year where people start having diets and they watch their weight and stuff. And
before Christmas and
yes,
after Thanksgiving.
Between September and Christmas, it's pretty much the way that people go on a diet.
That's the worst time to go on a diet.
I agree,
There's
but-
Thanksgiving.
I agree. I'm not saying
People
it's
go
wrong.
on
I'm just saying from my perspective.
Between like March and May, because you're getting ready for summer and everything. People,
Also-
everyone's going to hibernate right now. You're putting on weight.
Okay, tell me about your cheat meal so we can get back to FPF so I don't get hate mail.
So, what's your favorite cheat meal? Like, let's say you could only have considered cheat meal once a week, which I
told you guys about my former peanut butter surprise, where I would get home inebriated and scoop chocolate chips out of a jar of peanut butter. That was pretty awesome. I work in a school of chefs.
So anything's on the table, really. You could ask
Dude.
for
One of
anything.
them informed me this thing that I also enjoyed after a night out with a few of them, and it was a lasagna sandwich. Where you take like a Foreman grill or sandwich press and you put a lasagna between two slices of bread with more cheese and bacon, and you press
and
that
bacon.
and that is this gargantuan lasagna sandwich.
That
The
sounds
lasagna
fabulous.
is already several layers of sandwich basically.
That sounds fabulous.
It's pretty amazing. It's pretty out there.
Jigs.
If I'm going to go pick food up, definitely Steamies at Belpro's. Can't go wrong. If it's at home, I'm doing grilled cheeses. I've
Really?
live and die by the grilled cheese. Yeah, caramelized onions, a little bit of bacon.
Okay, so you
inside
go big. You don't just go cheese.
fancy.
And
No, you go fancy. You have a little
Okay.
even like a little arugula on the side or whatever it is.
Okay, that's legit.
Yeah.
I was thinking like orange cheese and toast. The guy.
I mean, yeah, you do that too, but you also put all the fancy stuff in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, like, I'm a breakfast guy, so bacon, potato tots,
Yeah.
everything else.
We have a breakfast cheat we do once in a while. We do
It's the best.
Amicubino sandwiches.
Oh,
They're amazing. And I throw an egg in it.
that's
I make my
amazing.
own McMuffins. They're pretty good.
I
Yeah,
should-
Natalia makes briskets too.
I should eat before these shows. I should not come
You
here.
sound hungry.
I'm a little bit late.
You sound hungry.
should
Team
have-
hungry for success in this tournament has been KGP RA, performing far better than we expected. They are taking on Dans Tams in the Chenard Bowl. Eagle, do your thing.
Yes, KGP RA finished 4th in Mokan's pool, and then Dans and Tams finished 2nd in the Rehan Sarwar pool.
I'm not really sure how this all works out, but are KGP RA actually the favorite?
Well, they're the second season, and that's
Yeah, but like in this matchup, given
I don't think there's only a handful of teams in FPF in the cup that could stop our KGP RA from scoring 30 points.
Mhm.
I'm just saying, like, even when they played finest, they scored something like 20, 25 points.
No, they scored 6. It was the first game.
It was a different. It wasn't Phil Cutler, but anyways, not the point I was coming up to.
No, it's the opposite point.
So I don't think KGP RA will. I don't think Dans Tams has a defense to stop KGP RA from scoring 35
KGP RA?
points. Yes.
Out to your point though, since that first week loss, they scored no less than 25 points
There you
since
go.
then. Do you think it'll present an issue for Dans Tams?
If Joey cannot score more than 4, Joey will need to score.
But you think
like 45
it'll be
points.
an issue for their defense though?
Yeah, I don't think the defense will matter in this game.
Is there anything that Dans Tams can do schematically to prevent KGP RA from scoring more?
You need a very good rusher against Phil Cutler. He likes. We all know Phil is known for taking a lot of sacks in the season. He likes to scramble, buy time, and allow his guys to make plays for him. So he's gonna make plays in the backfield and try to, like, even if it's 3rd and 15, he's gonna convert somehow. So you need a very good rusher to keep him in the pocket and force him to release early. And I think that's the only way to get Phil to throw in like interceptions.
Yeah, and you got to attack the ball in those plays too and everything, because sometimes he'll not float it into an area, but really put it to a spot where only the receiver can get to it. So as a DB, you really got to go and try and get that ball.
Who are you most surprised fits Joey Taylor's system?
I'm still kind of surprised Alex Olawak is on this team.
Mhm.
Like, I could see it. It's just I don't think that's the kind of team that you would want to be with. So I'm still surprised he's there, but he's a great piece for them. He fits the scheme properly, and he's excelling in the Dan and Tam offense.
Then again, when he played with Project Mayhem, you can also argue that Nowakowski had a very similar system, that kind of dink and dunk type of style stuff. He would make more shots, but Holowak was that type of guy who just hit the little underneath,
Yeah,
a little quick slant, the little outs.
But he
I
was
still find-
snapping for them.
Yep,
back then.
he was, yeah.
He's not snapping.
Not on this team, no, but still like the same type of play design, right? Where it's
Yeah.
these little like under routes and trying to hit you somewhere. So.
I still think, for me, and it's not the first season with them, but I'm still surprised Matthew Rupsik fits the system so well, because he's a refined route runner who's not from this kind of system at all.
It's true.
To see him.
I just forgot. He's been with them for so long, both Joey Taylor for so long.
Just think of new guys.
Yeah, he just
because like GM Colathris is thriving in the system, but I expected him to thrive in the system because he's the kind of guy who uses his intelligence to get open.
Yep,
that's me calling you slow. but in all seriousness, I've had GM as a receiver, and the thing I like most about him is he knew on a deep end when to run a deep end and when to stop. Yeah. He knew on a slant when to sit in the zone and when to keep running a slant and so on. So he uses that to the best of his ability.
I think Rupchik on that team, though, just to kind of go back to him for a second, on the offensive side, you can swap him with anyone else and it kind of doesn't change anything, but on defense is where he's really helped them a lot. And it changes the entire dynamic of what they can run in terms of their schemes, and also means that if they get that turnover, well, they know they're going to score, so now the other team's playing catch-up, right? And then that works in your favor. So,
the other game from the Patch Center pool, Friends in Low Places take on No Regard, hashtag NR. Does hashtag NR have the easiest path to a bowl championship?
I think a lot of people tend to underestimate Friends in Low Places. They had a very good first round in the preliminary. If you think that they're going to just roll over and get destroyed by 30 points, I don't think it's going to happen.
Jeez.
Yes. And hashtag NR did finish first in the Sarwar pool, so they are playing against the 5th place friends from the Mocon pool.
Thank you.
So, amongst these
I'm legit thanking you not for providing content, but because I can't remember where all these teams are from. So I do thank you for doing that, Eve.
So amongst all these matchups, yes, hashtag NR is the favorite, but I don't think it's the easiest.
So who has an easier path to a bowl than them?
But I don't know. I love that.
I
haven't looked at all of them.
This is quintessential Simo analysis. No, they don't. All right, who does? I don't know. You look it up. I don't know.
I don't know. You did it, work.
Yes, I think it's the easiest one, so that's why I put it there.
I would actually say Diablos have a pretty good chance.
I'll get to them in a second.
Well, there you go.
Corey Pecker has been little discussed during the tournament this season, but has had one of the best cup performances. Yes. 43 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. Why do you think it is that everyone, myself, you, Francois, we kind of glossed over it? Is it just our expectations for Corey? Is it a weak qualification pool?
I think we consider Corey to be like a he's a Division 2 quarterback, technically. And we, as No Regard, had a very poor preliminary round. They were classed below where they should be, and they had an easy way to where they are now.
But they were only...
So we're kind of overlooking them because they're facing weaker opponents instead of...
But they were only in that pool because he was injured.
And they
lost the game to KGP, where he wasn't the problem. He scored a ton of points.
So they accidentally gamed the system, is what you're trying to say?
Well, I don't think...
And I know the guys on NR, they won't game the system on purpose.
Yeah, sort of.
They want to win everything all the time.
No, but it's sort of what happened is because they lost in the first round, they got easier matchups in the second round.
Yeah.
I don't think it's what they wanted, but it is what it is. And now they're facing opponents that are... We kind of looked them over because we're saying, they're too good for who they're playing anyways, so it doesn't really matter. But now that they're playing these guys, I expect good games to come out of the following 2 rounds for them, following games.
The pieces don't seem to fit for Friends in Low Places in this tournament. What can they do anything to turn around, or is it just a team that wasn't built properly for this tournament?
I think they were outclassed by the fact that they won the preliminary rounds. The fact that they had a few W's early on, they were overranked, and now they're facing guys that they're out of their depth. So instead of facing against Division 4, Division 3 teams, they're facing more around Division 2 teams. Some of the guys are not able to cover. So there's still guys on this team that are very solid. Like Danny Damour could play against any of these guys. There's no problem. Yeah. Kevin Smoot is also a very talented player. But there's a few guys that are more on the Div 5 sort of things, which is the reason why Friends in Low Places is not a Division 2 team.
That's what I'm saying, is other than the 2 or 3 pieces, the rest of the guys kind of seem like they were brought up the ranks too quickly. A lot of the guys from the other teams in Division 6 and then so on, like Chad Buck and
I agree.
The good players, just it takes a while to adjust.
It takes time to get used to playing against these kind of players, and I find this is the kind of tournament where it allows you to see how you guys would fare in the winter season if you would move up. And I think this is more of a reality check for Friends of Low Places that Division 4, barely Division 3 would be a good fit for them.
I think it's also a reality check for us because if you go back to week 2, week 3, we were saying about how Danny Damour jumped up and it was really impressive, and they were getting wins and playing like a great team. It was well built, and here we are at the start of the bowl round going, we're disappointed in their performance. So
I mean, he might not be 100% anyways. Like he had a bad injury in the playoffs in the spring playoffs. He might still be a little bit injured from that. He can't move. He doesn't move as much as he used to. He might not be 100%, which obviously affects their offense. If Danny's not if he's forced to play pocket, he's not as excellent as he is if he moves around. So that could also be a factor.
Is Bill Belichick a wizard?
Or a scientist who makes clones?
No, wizard. We didn't have a show the week that we could react to Jimmy Garoppolo news. Jimmy Garoppolo being traded to the 49ers for a second round pick. So here's my thing from like, how does he convince another NFL franchise to do this? Trade an unproven quarterback for a second round pick.
I would disagree that he's unproven, but go on.
He is unproven because how many games has he played in the regular season?
6.
Cool. That's a huge sample size.
But he's more.
He won like 5 of them.
Playing for one of the most talented teams in the league.
Yeah.
And it wasn't 6. Tom Brady's suspension was only 4 games.
Plus, he got hurt for one of them or whatever it was, and they think he did another week.
Anyway, just to say, playing for the most talented team in the league, or one of, playing in the weakest division at the time, anyway, because the Jets have surprised teams this season, but they weren't that good.
Nope.
The Dolphins have been a tire fire for 15 years, and the Bills were atrocious that season. So unproven.
Yeah. Well,
for a second round pick. Now check this out. To the Niners, who don't want to start him till next season, where they will achieve a high enough pick to draft a quarterback that could change their fortunes.
also they'll have to sign him because he becomes an unrestricted free agent.
Which is why the Patriots traded him to begin with, because they were going to get nothing for him.
So for the Patriots side, they're basically losing.
I understand why the Patriots are doing it.
For the Niners, they're trading a second round pick for a guy that's more proven than, say, Deshaun Watson was coming in.
You know, the Niners actually asked if he wanted to trade Brady, and Belichick laughed in his face. Literally, he laughed in his face.
John Lynch's like, so what about Brady? If you don't want to trade Jimmy, what about Brady? And he's like, yeah, okay.
But so
that's great though.
And the other thing is, people's reaction was funny. Is like, oh, what if Tom Brady gets hurt? Well, if Tom Brady gets hurt, they're not winning a Super Bowl anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
So who cares?
Regardless of who's backing him up, if Brady gets hurt, the season's over. And I think they realized, I was like, what do we need backups for?
It was something I noticed while I was watching football on Sunday, was seeing Garoppolo on the bench, because I have Carlos Hyde on many of my fantasy pools. That's why I bothered watching the 49ers. And my God, it's so weird. Like, why would you trade second round pick for a guy?
Well,
and you may never start him because he may not sign with you.
Well, there's like... He does need a little bit of time. You can start him 2 days after the trade.
Okay, this is 2 weeks.
Wow.
Also, is it going to be worse?
I mean, how much is going to know about the offense?
Sign the ball off 40 times.
Doesn't matter. Has football.
But I agree that he needs to start as soon as possible. But it's a weird.
And again, they could have taken that likely first overall pick.
Well, no, it's a second rounder, so it's like 34.
I understand, but they already have what's likely going to be the first overall pick, which is traditionally used to draft quarterbacks who will change the fortunes of your franchise.
It's a second rounder, so are you going to get?
No, but that's not my point. You because they're probably going to pick a quarterback, and they traded a second rounder for a quarterback. So
unless they get, anyways, I get what you're saying.
And again, they may not even be able to sign Garoppolo. He may never play a game.
They might finally
in
pull
a Niners uniform.
New England Patriots and trade their first rounder for 17 second rounder.
So just to summarize, not only is Bill Belichick a wizard in the sense that he can create a new Tom Brady every season that's healthy and everything, but he also has Jedi mind tricks to convince other teams to trade for things they shouldn't trade for. And then on top of that, he's also some type of like warlock or something, because he's managed to apply the Madden curse to everyone else in the league. All the other quarterbacks that have gone down except Tom Brady.
Against steroids. But... steroids and genetics.
It has to be genetics.
A dude who would be happy about the first part of our conversation about Bill Belichick being a wizard, and a dude who's unhappy about me saying Tom Brady takes steroids is Kishon Thompson, who's a devout New England Patriots fan. In the Kishon Thompson Bowl, the Diablos take on the Bearskins.
Diablos third in Star Wars pool, Bearskins first in the Calethris pool.
Jesus Christ, Francois Martin has been annoying. This where he comes back down to earth?
I think Bearskins have the personnel as the players to make Francois Martin's offense harder on himself.
Because?
He takes a lot of shots deep. He doesn't check it down much. There's a lot of plays where he wants to go deep on these guys, and he's going to go regardless of what the coverage is. And Bearskins ask the athletes to shut down the best players on Diablos. If you look at a matchup, let's say you put Kyle Lebowski on Samuel Drapeau when you put Marco Bertoli on Gab Weissman, there's two very good matchups. It could go either way. So who else? Like, what's tough for you? I think this is going to be the type of game that whichever quarterback plays the least worse wins.
Okay.
They're both going to have interceptions. They're both going to go.
Not whoever plays the best, but whoever doesn't play the not worst.
Yeah.
What gets the job
Whoever's
done,
not the worst in this game.
because there's going to be interceptions in this game, and I could see both quarterbacks throwing 2 interceptions each, but whoever makes the most mistakes will not win.
Yeah, well, you can bet that Francois Martin is betting on himself and probably choosing himself to.
Oh, 100%. But it's going to be a weirdly offensive game with a lot of interceptions.
Offensive and will they
Like, they're both going to score 5 touchdowns, but 2 or 3 picks. It's going to be one of those games where how many possessions did they have? How? I don't get 8 possessions per game. Like, how does
I
it
never
happen?
understand how other teams do that, by the way. How do you always have 8
How does this
possessions?
happen? I don't know, but it's going to happen.
Given how the Bearskins started, are you surprised they went 4-1 in the qualifying round?
We discussed that earlier in the season before the 2 rounds, where we said Bearskins need to go at least 4-1 or 5-0 in the second round to even come back.
Here they are.
They're the reverse friends in low places. They had a bad first round, and
enemies in high places.
Yeah, they were underranked, and they were facing weaker opponents. And if they would not beat these guys, there's no redemption for Bearskins. And they did. Listen, they went 4-1. They beat most of the teams fairly well. This is the Bearskins should be favorite coming into this bowl and should win the next 2 games.
The commission take on lightweight.
Eagle.
You know what's on the script. You know what's coming
The
next.
other times you do a little bit more than that. 4th place in Sarwar pool for commission. 5th place for lightweights. Also Sarwar pool.
Can we fine you every time you blame other people for the things you do wrong?
No.
Okay, because you'd be poor.
Well,
That's how often, Simon. I stand by my statement.
okay.
Is this the least compelling matchup in the tournament?
Yes.
I
want to talk about myself.
No, but not only that. I guess maybe you can ask me questions on this game because since you're playing it. But I have some pretty fun ones for you. But
Yeah, I know. I read the script. So.
I was looking at this game and I was like, I don't care. I don't care.
You do care about
this
me.
game.
You love me.
No, but not that neither team's boring to watch and they both have exciting players.
I agree. It's not
But something about this game
just
spells boredom.
Both teams' season has not ball season. Both teams' tournament has not been very interesting. Commission, they're kind of in and out of quarterback. Jean Lucier found himself a bit later in the season. They're doing better, but they're still not impressing as it is. Lightweight has been all over the place. So I find they're both teams.
Who's playing for lightweight this week?
I don't even know.
Next week?
I honestly, I do not know. There's so many guys in and out of town every week that I could tell you that all the core members are going to be there. Like Anthony's going to be there. I should be there
You
if
need
I'm
to get
healthy.
their passports revoked.
But the other guys, so far we're 4 guys. That's as far as I could go. The rest we'll see probably next Wednesday, next Thursday. Who's in town, who can make it, and we'll go from there. It's that kind of season for us. It is what it is. There's no, it's playoffs now, so we can't change it. We can't get subs. So we'll see what happens.
That's fine. Give me 3 things the commission will do to beat you in this game.
3 things.
3 things.
The rusher is going to have another very good game. So that's one.
Who's the rusher?
Dominic Mangione.
Okay. I'm saying because you should know that you have to say people's names when you're discussing them because the home audience doesn't know who you're talking about.
The same way what happened last time we played against him, Jean Lucier did just enough. He didn't play stellar. He had 4 passing touchdowns, which in FPF is not much.
Yeah.
But I think he's going to do just enough. Like he's going to, if they win, he's going to squeeze by with. He's not going to have 7 touchdowns, no picks, and 90% completion. He's going to have a squeaky game, but he's going to be great on converts. I expect him to get 4 to 5 points on converts alone.
Okay. Eagle, how are we doing on time?
We're doing good.
That's very
We're
clear.
at 5-0.
So not good because we have another 4 games. This is what we'll do. Home audience, you're learning this along with Eagle, so excuse if the imaging is behind.
I didn't know this before.
Well, it's kind of on the fly. Again, this cup season is new for all of us, so we're adjusting on the media side just as you are at home.
Are we doing the video on the screen?
This has also been a sloppy show, and that Simon never knows when it's his turn to speak.
I'll have to interrupt you.
Apparently.
See what I just did.
So what we'll do our picks for these games. We will then go to Riddle Me Eagle, final thoughts, and close the show.
You don't want to do the Benabdelkader pool?
The what?
The Benabdelkader bowl?
Well, that's tier 2, so we'll keep all the tier 2 for next week.
No.
No, that's
Oh,
not
it's
last
tier
tier 1.
Yeah, there's another tier 1.
Ah,
Let's wrap that one.
I guess
Let's
so.
do that one first. Let's finish tier 1 this week, and then we'll do tier 2 next
The
week.
Rochdi Bowl.
yeah. But in the meantime, while they were getting ready for this game, a new mayor was elected.
Yes.
Now, we don't do a lot of politics, and
No,
even at that, this isn't politics. It's just something noteworthy. In fact, people would be very surprised to see how many of us vote in general.
Oh, that's
and I have bizarre politics to begin with, but either way, we now live in a new space. Do you think there are any implications for FPF? Will we get more field space? No, you don't think there's any more projects?
Nothing more. She's not aiming to change anything in that type of area. Like she's looking more like transport and things like that. So I don't think FPF is going to be infected at all. If anything, people might have easier access to games with buses.
Or the pink line that's going to cut through the middle area, maybe.
Yeah, no, that's not her plan. So it's not going to happen. If it happens, it would happen. But and it's going to happen in like 10 years. Do you know how long it takes to like build a metro anyways?
You know how long it takes to build a new facility for FPF?
At least 10 years because we don't have one.
That's fair.
And I just thought that was particularly interesting this week with some news. I mean, it's not really big news because the mayor doesn't ultimately matter all that much.
It doesn't change much.
No.
The only thing that annoyed me is her party was like in my backyard and there was no parking space at home for like the whole night.
Not political party. You mean celebration?
Yeah, well, no, but like she was out like the night
You know, it annoyed me because her party was in my
place and
backyard.
you have everybody from your party show up.
I understood her entire campaign was based behind your home. Well, but see, with advances in public transportation, you wouldn't need to park.
It's just a gigantic one of those
Well,
white
it was
tents
Halloween,
you rent.
no? It was on Halloween night.
No, it wasn't
No,
Halloween.
November 5th.
Yeah.
Oh, because I was over at my parents. I thought it was Halloween, but it was.
Remember the 5th of November.
Yeah, how could you forget the gunpowder treason and plot?
I just said why I forgot. I was over at my parents and I thought it was for Halloween.
It's literally in the sentence. Remember.
Yes, Eagle.
So
We fire him.
after this week, we might. In the Rochdi Benabdelkader pool, Top Secret takes on Smokin Axolotls. Top Secret is the
They are the
2 seed
yes, of the Calethris pool, and Smokin Axolotls are the 5th seed of the Calethris pool.
This strikes me as a potentially good matchup for the Axholes. Tell me if you agree.
Yeah, I think Top Secret's defense it's the kind of defense that they get interceptions, but they also make mistakes and blown coverages. I find that this is the type of matchup that Smokin Axolotls, if they play well, could have their highest scoring game of the season.
Also, like, Willpower is one of the most mild-mannered dudes you've ever met. Eagle, what's Willpower's behavior like in a playoff game?
Different is the word I'm going to choose right now.
He becomes I'm a teammate of his. The ball's his.
The competition factor really ups his game. He really wants to go out and ball.
Are we really going to get that playoff atmosphere in 2 weeks, or people don't too laid back and have
I mean, you're still competing for a championship.
Yes, but I just feel like I've been at the games. I've been playing in the season. I've been at the games. I've been scorekeeping, and the atmosphere is a little bit different, which is fantastic because it feels a bit more laid back, and I love it.
But it's a regular season where everyone makes the playoffs, so therefore it doesn't matter.
I think the biggest factor when it comes to that is every team is making it into this playoff round, and so whether you win or lose the game, ultimately it doesn't really change anything at this point. Like, it's nice to win a game and high five each other.
That's what it used to be, right? Because it's like, oh, we lost, yeah, but we're still gonna make the playoffs.
Yeah.
But next week, if you lose,
you're out. Yeah,
you're done.
So I think the intensity is gonna come up for sure.
I hope people realize that, like, people. When they show up to the field, like, hey, if we lose, we're done.
And there's going to be, I think, less so in Tier 1, but a lot of Tier 2 are going to be rematches, either from the last week that just happened or previous in the season and everything. So there's going to be a lot of animosity between some teams because they're going to recognize each other.
Yeah,
absolutely. The last time around, it was 24-13 and a victory for Top Secret. Am I wrong? Am I wrong in thinking that Zachary Kivage can make enough of a difference that this game gets out of hand?
What do you mean?
Because last time around it was Alex Labonte throwing.
Okay.
This time, no, it's the full complement of receivers. And as Zachary Kiverge throwing, is there a risk that this game gets out of hand earlier than the last time they played?
Listen, it could have happened in the way that Top Secret scores like 40 points. But again, as I mentioned, I feel like this is one of the games where Smokin Axolotls going to have a very good offense and they're going to be able to put up a lot of points. So they might go score for a while until one of the two makes a mistake. And I feel this might end up being one of the highest scoring games in Tier 1, all games considered.
That's fair. Keyport Lock takes on A Squad. They did face once this season. Keyport Lock won that game 39-18.
They are the third and fourth seeds in that Calethers pool.
Respectively. Can A Squad make defensive adjustments this time around?
They know what they're playing against. If there any adjustment to make, they should know what to do by now. The keynote is Jadarides out for the season, which is a huge difference in Keyport Lock's offense. With him taken out of the game and not being able to play.
Is he injured?
Yes.
What do you imagine Jadarides' recovery treatment is like?
What do you mean?
I picture it being like he just flies himself out to like Malibu and he's like in a hot tub with 14 scantily clad women.
Yeah, I could see that. I could.
That's how I figure he rehabs his injury.
Eating a lot of grapes.
Yeah, the dude looks like he loves grapes.
I was gonna say I can imagine him do like in a squat rack, basically doing like deadlifts or whatever it is on the beach or something to that degree or whatever, right? Just like
so
really.
There's a squat rack on this magical beach.
Yeah, there is. Yes, maybe a treadmill and everything.
I guess Muscle
maybe
Beach
a bench
in LA.
press.
It may be. It's possible.
Miami, I can see it in Miami.
Yeah. Also Miami's a kind of.
If they put a squat rack in Miami Beach, it would get stolen the next day.
It's because it's true.
Will Keyport's astonishingly boring style muddy up the game where A Squad can't use their speed as an advantage?
I feel they need to. This is what the Keyport should be doing. But without Jadaridi, I find that they're, to quote you, disgustingly muddy style is not.
Watching them play makes me happy to be colorblind.
I think this is a matchup that works really well for A Squad because they can. Typically, they're very aggressive on defense. They kind of cheat and they gamble on plays, especially given Keyport Lock's style of play. They can do that, and worst case, if they get beat, they have that speed that they can catch up and potentially make a play on that ball. So I think that really works well for them in this game.
So you're saying that because it's a dink and dunk offense where they don't gain a lot of yardage, they could take more chances and still don't give up.
Press everything in the flat, and if they try and go over your heads, hope that your athleticism is going to outrace the guy.
When we do a recap of their game, I want you to get all the "Yo Mama So Ugly" jokes, and we'll change it to "Yo Offense So Ugly," and we'll see that it works just as well for Keyport Lock as it does for Yo Mama. Will Corey Wolowski be back for this game? Does anyone know?
I haven't
spoken to Corey, to be honest.
I haven't spoken to him. I don't know.
I haven't seen pictures of him on the beach with Jadaridi eating grapes.
I saw a picture of him buying a new house, so there's that.
That could be the reason.
So there's that.
Break the game down though in either circumstance, with Corey and without Corey.
Congrats on your house, by the way, Corey. If you're listening.
If with Corey, it gives A Squad. Corey's offense takes a lot of shots.
Mm-hmm.
I played against Keyport Lock last week, and their defense is good. They have good safeties, and it's tough to take shots against them. So if Corey's there, he's going to have to figure something out. He's going to have to change his game plan to fit his players a bit more and less of what he wants to do because it's not going to work. If Corey's not there, I'm assuming Jakub's going to play quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
In that case, I don't think Keyport Lock has the rusher to contain Jakub, and it's going to be a very muddy game where it's going to finish within... The winner's going to score 20 points.
Okay, well, that favors Keyport Lock though, doesn't
that favors A Squad because back in the days where A Squad, where Jakub was like winter A Squad, they wouldn't win games with 30-35 points.
Yeah, but neither does Keyport Lock ever.
Well, they won 39-18 last time.
If Corey's smart,
don't often win games that way.
If Corey's smart with the ball and basically doesn't throw into coverage, I think they'll win this game.
Okay.
I agree. Well, congratulations to Corey Wonderwalowski. Happy to hear him getting a house, and hopefully he'll be back for this bowl game. Eagle, do you have a riddle me Eagle for this week?
I do. It's going to be a quick one, okay, guys?
They're always quick.
All right. So you can drop me from the tallest building and I'll be fine, but if you drop me in water, I die. What am I?
You can drop me from the tallest building
and I'd be fine, but you drop me in water and I'd die.
A pigeon.
I mean, he's not wrong.
You're not wrong. That's not the answer, but you're not wrong.
win. Goodbye.
A grain of sugar, although it's not alive to begin with.
Yeah, salt.
All right, that's fine.
Salt
Who
sounds
do you
like
choose? The pigeon?
I'm taking the pigeon.
Yeah,
I'm taking the pigeon.
I agree with you. I agree with you.
I mean, the answer is probably like salt or something, but
Yeah.
I like the pigeon.
But yours is so good I couldn't compete, so I just answered the riddle.
It's paper.
Oh, it's paper? It's bad. I
But
still
again,
prefer
paper,
salt.
but,
Pigeon is actually better.
but like salt is the same, and so is sugar. It just that, again, none of them
It
are alive.
dissolves.
But I do like pigeon. Pigeon's more accurate in my opinion. Final thoughts, Timo.
I don't understand how my brain works for me to go to pigeon right away like that.
That was good.
That was pretty good. There's a bye week this week. I'm happy there's a bye week. I need the rest. I'm expecting a lot of you guys to also enjoy the rest. The bowl games are coming up. It should be very interesting to see how it all pans out. I hope the intensity picks up for the first round of the playoffs. And since they're all Saturday games, there's no excuse not to stick around and have some beers afterwards. See what I did there.
Oh, sex. Eagle?
The FPF Rules Committee is going to be meeting in a couple weeks to review any changes for
We've
the
got
2018 season.
Sorry, I'm doing the Simo thing now. Sorry.
It's okay. I was going to say, yeah, so we have some pretty good suggestions already from people. We're compiling a list from everyone. So if you have a rule suggestion for us, or even if it's not a rule suggestion, but you want to see a change, feel free to post on the Facebook group. There's a gigantic thread, I think about 80 posts by now. Or reach out to any of the staff members, myself,
Send us a message.
Peeze Simon, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Vine, whatever's still working.
Hey, if you do a Vine,
MySpace.
if you do a Vine of the rule that you want to change and the reason why, there's a 99.9% chance we're changing it for you.
Also,
So yeah, feel free to let us know.
I said 99 because there's a chance. It's too ridiculous.
hopefully the
Rob would fire me if I said 100%.
hopefully the celebration rules get.
We're not changing the celebrations, goddammit.
You're the oldest. You're what's wrong with the NFL.
It's
you
okay.
single-handedly.
It's okay. He only has one vote.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but my fear is that, of course, it's a bunch of old crusty dudes like Eagle in the room.
He's not old.
I know, but he's the oldest and crustiest.
I agree with
You can
Chris.
see the crust from here.
That's because of moisturizer that's not being used.
I going for one, going for two. I don't have anything FPF related because nothing's happened for 2 weeks. So I'm going to say Saudi Arabia gave citizenship to a robot. Terminators, people. And remember,
There were games earlier.
goodbye.